I can't believe it. I actually genuinely cannot believe it. How on earth have Manchester United and Tottenham made it to a Europa League final? What? In this crazy season, Liverpool winning the league, Forest getting potential Champions League, Man City falling off a cliff this season, and Tottenham and Man United are going to Bilbao. They're going to the Europa League final. I actually just genuinely can't understand how this has actually happened. Like, I'm not trying to do the whole thing, oh yeah, they don't deserve it. Look, if you get to a final and you win it, you deserve to win the competition. But I can still question how on earth this has actually happened. Because how has this happened? You know, we was all thinking Spurs, yeah, well, they'll get knocked out to Frankfurt. Yeah, Manchester United probably will get knocked out to Lyon. It looked like they was getting knocked out to Lyon until Lyon absolutely collapsed. Collapsed. So yeah, we'll start off with Man United. They go through 7-1 on aggregate. Like what? 7-1 on aggregate Man United went through. And I can share the tab here. Yeah. They beat them. Even Mason Mount was turning up and scoring 2 goals. Both of his goals were actually really good finishes, especially that first one was a really good finish by him. The touch and the turn and then just shoots in the bottom corner. Quality. Even Hoyland got on the score sheet. But if we go to the knockout, if it will load, and I believe we can actually see Man United's like route to the final, but 7-1 on aggregate to me is actually quite impressive because I actually had Bilbao to win the competition at the start of the season. I actually thought Bilbao would win it, in my opinion. And yeah, this is obviously Man United's route in terms of the final. Obviously, they played Sociedad, beat them 5-2 comfortably. Then it was Lyon, the absolute chaos, where Maguire scores last minute to send them to the semis. As for Spurs, you know, they beat AZ, then they beat Frankfurt. And obviously, Bodo Glimt over 5-1 aggregate, which I think everyone expected Tottenham to beat Bodo Glimt, even though they are a terrible side, Spurs. And now they're both going to play each other in the final. And it's absolutely madness. Tottenham potentially could end their, since 2008, drought of not winning a trophy. Manchester United's worst season ever in terms of league form and everything. Plus, to add on, Liverpool probably winning the league for them 20 times Liverpool. For them to also somehow end up in a Europa League finals madness. And to be honest, they've been doing this for the past couple of years where they've been having terrible seasons. They've been getting to Carabao Cup finals and winning them, FA Cup finals, and they obviously won it one last season against Manchester City. And they have a chance now to go and win a European trophy. I mean, I'm not going to discredit the Europa League. When Liverpool was in it last season, I wanted to win it. I think if you're in the competition, you obviously want to win it. It is classed as a major trophy. You know, the Europa League used to get a lot of credit more back in the day. Now that there's more competitions, you've got like the Conference League. Okay, cool. If it was the Conference League, as Liverpool, if I was, let's say Liverpool was in the Conference League, I probably wouldn't give a toss if we win it or not. If we win it, yay. You know, we're kind of expected to win it. No, but then at the same time, it's probably a bit embarrassing if we don't go and win the trophy, just like if Chelsea doesn't go on to win the trophy. Although I do think it's going to be a tough game against Real Betis for them. But Manchester United are in the final, and this is where you have to probably credit Ruben Amorim, the togetherness that he's had, because he's had a really, really rough start to his managerial career at Manchester United. And to potentially end the season with a Europa League, it's only onwards and upwards for them, because they know they need new players. They know they need to change the hierarchy and everything and above. We know that they're getting a new stadium, and to win potentially a European trophy after the worst season in the club's history, it's only onwards and upwards for them. Do you know what I mean? So, if I was to predict who do I think will win, I think Man United will win it. I don't know, man. I just got a weird feeling they're going to stink their way to it. I'd rather Spurs win it, because obviously my rivals are Man United, so I don't want them to win it. And obviously a trophy is a trophy, so. But then it's actually mad. Like, Man United are going to somehow win a trophy in their worst season ever. Spurs could potentially in their trophy drought. Everyone's kind of mixed. Who do they want to win? It's like two clowns going at it. I've been seeing them do the rounds on Twitter. But it is a big topic. If you're an Arsenal fan, how are you feeling? Because, Spurs and Man United are your rivals. You somewhat challenged for the title. You got to a Carabao Cup final, got absolutely battered by Newcastle over 2 legs, 4-0 on aggregate. And then you got knocked out by Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. And obviously you got knocked out in the first round in the FA Cup against Man U. To end trophyless again, and potentially even Spurs or Man U winning a trophy. But then they'll use the narrative, oh, it's just the Europa League. But let's be honest, at the start of the season, let's say I would say January, December time, would any of them predict Man United and Spurs to probably win the Europa League? Probably not. People were probably predicting your Frankfurts, your Ajaxes, your Lazios, your Lyons, your Bilbaos to go on and win the tournament. Not really many people probably would have predicted Spurs or Man United getting to, both of them at least get into the final. So, I mean, you have to say fair play to it. This is either going to be a really good final or a terrible final. But yeah, big pressures on both, because if Spurs can end their trophy drought, man, that's big for them, And Andrew's obviously come out and said on many occasions he normally wins things in the second season. That could genuinely be one of the most iconic quotes. I'm not even joking, in the modern era. To how bad Tottenham have been this season, how bad they've been in all the comps, to go and win a trophy after nearly finishing it. You're literally like 1 or 2 places above the relegation zone, for Christ's sakes. Now, I know the points difference is quite a bit of a gap. However, you are literally 1 or 2 places above the relegation zone. And to go and win a trophy, that will be absolute madness. And obviously, let's not forget, if you win this trophy, you actually are getting Champions League football. One team will actually get Champions League. It's mad. We're gonna have 6 teams in the Champions League, 6 English teams in the Champions League next season. That is madness. So you're gonna have Liverpool, Arsenal, probably Manchester City, and then it's either a mix between Newcastle, Forest, and Chelsea, and then one of these 2 idiots. It's absolutely madness. And you know what? The one player who I actually think has dragged him to this position, and I think he needs credit, is that he had a lot of, rightly so comments made about him at the start of the season. Casemiro. I think Casemiro, Lenny Euro, and Casemiro and Lenny Euro, man. These 2 in this competition have been elite. They've been quality in terms of them getting them over the line. To try and get them to the final and potentially win. But my score prediction, an early prediction, I think Man United will win 2-1, unfortunately. But yeah, make sure you are smashing the like button, you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. I cannot believe it that Spurs and Man United have somehow made it to Europa League final. It's absolutely mad. What world do we live in? I don't know. But until then, smash a like, subscribe.